Guys, there is a massive, massive earthquake swarm happening at Campi Flegrei in Italy at the super volcano. And while we're speaking, they keep coming. When I wanted to start out with this video, we just had a 3.4 magnitude earthquake. But guys, look at this chart here. It is ongoing and it started already a day ago. So on December 5th, it started out with 1.6, 1.0, 1.7, 1.1, 1.9, then on December 6th. And I'm only showing you the ones above 1. There's way more. So 1.9 today, 3.4. Then after the 3.4, 1.4, 1.3, 2.2. So it's going up again. 1.5, 2.5. It's going up again. Just right now, 2.7 again. Then 1.0, then 1.5. So this is real time. This is happening as we speak, guys. So that is not good news for Italy and the Campi Flegrei Supervolcano. Hi guys, it's very, very late where I am right now. I was about to go to sleep because I was really exhausted. As you might know, I'm in an RV because my dog Apollo needs radiation treatment. So we're all exhausted about this. But guys, I need to stay awake. I need to get this out to you because for a few reasons. We've got that Bradyseism that is going on in Italy. That means the land is rising because underneath something's filling up. There is a magma chamber that they have confirmed just recently at a depth of only 4.5 kilometers, and it seems it might be even shallower than that. And look at that earthquake list. Look at the depth of these earthquakes. So the 1.50, and then we go down from the top 1.00001. So super shallow underneath the surface. But let's get back to the 3.4 again, and let's have a look at the epicenter of this. And of course, as expected, we're not surprised. It is around Pozzuoli, around the Solfatara. You see that lighter green area that says the red triangle, Campi Flegrei. That is the Solfatara. That is one of the many craters that form Campi Flegrei. Campi Flegrei stretches over 100 kilometers also into the sea. So it's not like a stratovolcano like Vesuvius. And we will talk about Vesuvius in a second. So look at the epicenter. Definitely that is underneath the area where we have the Solfatara, where there's also these hot volcanic steam fumaroles coming out, hot volcanic gases. And the INGV, the Italian Institute for Volcanology and Geophysics, has just released that these fumaroles were gradually increasing over the last month from 95 degrees Celsius to 97 degrees Celsius. So something is increasing the heat of these volcanic fumaroles, and it's magma. There have been a lot of reports this time that people felt or still feel this ongoing earthquake swarm. And have a look at, if you see here, how densely populated this area is. You have to see there's Naples, and there's basically a greater Naples area with more than 6 million people if you look at Campi Flegrei, Naples, and the Vesuvius area. So highly densely populated. That's why you see the list here. These are municipalities with at least 50,000 inhabitants. And how close are they to the epicenter, Pozzuoli? So in a range of 5 to 75 kilometers. And then there's also a list of municipalities within 20 kilometers from the epicenter. That is not far if we're talking about volcanic eruption. Because guys, as the INGV and the Vesuvius Observatory that are monitoring this volcano 24/7 is declaring Campi Flegrei is a super volcano. It is one of the world's 12 super volcanoes that are capable of triggering, and now listen, a VEI, that's the volcanic index 8 level of eruption. So that is a super volcanic eruption. Massive, massive, massive. That is the highest ever in the volcanic explosivity index, 8. So Campi Flegrei has already recorded eruptions of level 7 in the past, which was already disastrous, catastrophic. Thankfully, not in our lifetime. And compared the Vesuvius eruption that destroyed Pompeii in 79 AD, that was only a level 5, only a level 5 eruption. And that level 7 eruption is thought to have contributed to the disappearance of the Neanderthals. So they have wiped out that group of people. So that is why Campi Flegrei, like the other supervolcanoes in the world across Japan, North America, and Oceania, Campi Flegrei is amongst the most monitored in the world. And the sound that you hear, sorry guys, this is Apollo. He's lying at my feet and he's still doing that snorting stuff from his tumor in his upper palatal. So sorry, I can't make that sound go away. So the Bradyseism, we have to talk about this Bradyseism because we've had a Bradyseismic episode already in the 1980s where the land was rising, so the crust was bending. We've seen that in Iceland now, almost every 1-2 months. The land keeps rising because the magma chamber is filling up underneath. And then the magma chamber reaches the point of maximum elasticity. So these rocks that hold this magma chamber cannot expand any further like the rubber band. I can expand it to a certain point, then it comes to a halt, and then it bursts if I keep pulling further. And that's what's happening in Iceland. Then the magma gets sent out into an eruption. And the Bradyseism that happened in the 80s probably ended with a magma intrusion. So magma was sent on its way, but the caprock layer that is on top of it, this is the graph that shows the 1980 scenario, was strong enough to keep a lid on, to keep the magma from reaching the surface. And we know that since then, this caprock layer has lost so much of its stability. So it has only a third of its stability left. And that is important because there is a new study that basically says with an accelerated rate of uplift of Bradyseism, if that increases, then the probability for more and higher magnitude earthquakes also increases. And we know the land is rising right now at a rate of 1 centimeters per month. In mid-April, it started even rising with 2 centimeters per month and then fell back to 1 centimeter. But it's constantly rising. And that's why experts are saying we could see even higher magnitude earthquakes than the highest so far that we have seen this year in May, a 4.4. So we could see higher ones. And the 4.4 was already scary enough, did damage to homes there. The homes are not up to code. They're old homes. They're stone homes. So what the new study says, well, if these homes were brought up to seismic code, in the case of larger earthquakes, that could reduce the risk for the people that live there 70%, but not if there's a volcanic eruption. That is a total different animal. This study has clearly highlighted a clear exponential relationship between the maximum uplift of the caldera and a cumulative number of recorded earthquakes. And the problem is, why are the earthquakes accelerating too with this uplift? Because this crust is stretched out. It's losing its elasticity. It has lost a lot of the elasticity. And then rocks are crumbling. It's getting more brittle and it's creating more earthquakes and it's creating stronger earthquakes. So will it come to the point that the caprock layer breaks? That would be the worst case scenario. Then we would see a volcanic eruption of Campi Flegrei. And scientists are warning that we cannot rule that out. That's why there were so many calls from scientists. Prepare. Do not only prepare for earthquakes, prepare to evacuate because of an imminent volcanic eruption, because you might not have that much warning time. In April, Roberto Scandone, a seasoned scientist who has worked for decades at the Vesuvius Observatory for the INGV, he said in April, before we even saw the big earthquake swarms, if I was in charge, basically, he said, I would evacuate now. And since then, many talks have happened, and politicians said it was criminal that people were even allowed to build right on top of the caldera, because people didn't really understand what this is. It's a nice rolling hills, very, very fertile ground, as you can imagine, because it's volcanic. And now they have voted no more new development in the Bradyseismic area, in the Campi Flegrei area. But there is enough development already. And yeah, they're not building right on top of the volcano, but the roughly about 6 million people that are living around the volcano, it's the same disaster if that volcano erupts. And if there is a number 8 eruption, that will have implications for the whole world. So to say it a little bit more scientific, the correlation between the Bradyseism, the land uplift, and the earthquakes is basically similar to that of quasi-elastic materials that are subjected to increasing stress. So that can be interpreted as a progressive deterioration of the mechanical properties of the uppermost crust of Campi Flegrei. And scientists have said that already 3-4 months ago. They said this crust has reached the breaking point. And that's why this is so concerning. It's in the 80s, like I said, it had way more strength. It was able to keep the lid on. Now we only have a third strength. And the Bradyseismic uplift has already reached the height that it had in the 1980s, and it's on its way to basically increase that height even further and increase the stress on that so weakened crust. So that is not good. Remember, Bradyseism, this rubber band, I can extend it. It's rising, it's rising, it's rising, it's rising. But then the elasticity is gone, then I can't pull anymore. And then if I keep pulling, these little rubber fibers inside of it keep breaking, like the rocks of the crust are breaking. And then if I put more stress on it, it'll break. And breaking means the crust gives way for the magma to reach the surface. What's unique with this seismic swarm is it's go higher, then a few lower ones, then a higher one again. The higher ones keep coming. So the last one is 2.1. And now let's compare this with a list of Vesuvius. Vesuvius is also still in the mix. It has produced over the last weeks and months Vesuvius, Campi Flegrei, Vesuvius, Campi Flegrei. So we have talked a lot about in my previous video. Are they related, or could they trigger each other? Could that rumbling that is going on at Campi Flegrei trigger Vesuvius in a way that this Bradyseism, if the land rises, it puts stress on the crust, and that could travel. Could that travel to Vesuvius, and is that the reason for the earthquakes there? But many of the Vesuvius earthquakes are located with their epicenter right underneath Vesuvius, so where the crater is. So it looks like that this is Vesuvius himself. So we don't need both volcanoes to act up. We don't need that at all. I mean, in the end, it doesn't really make a difference, because if Campi Flegrei erupts, it doesn't really matter what Vesuvius does, because that wide range of densely populated area, and I'll say this in a very nice way, is in trouble, in big, big trouble, as you can imagine. So right now the earth is really unsettled under Campi Flegrei, this southern Italian caldera volcano. We have over 40 tremors already in this area since yesterday, and the strongest was in the morning again, 5:30 roughly local time, with a magnitude of 3.3, 3.4, some said 3.7, but the INGV has locked it in at 3.4, and the residents felt it again. They were scared again, and it was the strongest one since basically late summer, when we had another big earthquake swarm, and that had already raised big concern in the summer. So within a very, very short period of time, the INGV has already received up to 160 reports of residents that have clearly felt it. So what we're seeing right now is that the tensions in the subsurface underneath Campi Flegrei are increasing, and this system is continuing to heat up. Remember, I told you the temperature of the fumaroles at the Solfatara has increased. So guys, I'll end this video for now. I will definitely update you again. One last look at the current earthquake list. So the last one is at 2.1 at 10 a.m. local time in Italy. Again, depth 0, very, very shallow, right underneath the surface. So it remains to be seen what will happen, and subscribe if you're new here so that you won't miss the updates from this channel, from Iceland, from California, a magnitude 7 earthquake off the coast of Northern California, guys. That's a scary one too, because what is it? Is it the San Andreas fault, or is it the Cascadia fault? Because the Cascadia fault basically starts in Northern California, Crescent City, and then goes into Southern Oregon, Oregon coast, Washington coast, into Southern British Columbia along Vancouver Island. So that could be triggered, hopefully not. Or is it the San Andreas fault, who's also reaching in that area? So that remains to be seen. Lots of aftershocks in California. There's some very interesting videos that I have put together for you in this video. Check it out in the end screen, guys. I really have to go to sleep. I have to get up early tomorrow to get to Apollo's next appointment. And speaking of that, thank you guys for supporting this monstrous vet bill that's coming with Apollo's treatment. And if you want to support this channel right now, everything goes towards Apollo. If you want to buy us a coffee, support us at the buymeacoffee.com/silky site. The link is in the description of this video, or check out the QR code here. Greatly appreciated, guys. Thanks so much for watching this channel, for being here, for being constant viewers, and welcome to all my new channel members. So click the join button if you want to join our little exclusive groups with a lot of behind the scenes videos, guys. So be prepared, stay safe wherever in the world you are, because there's always a catastrophe brewing, as it seems. So I see you soon, hopefully. Bye bye.